Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Well, today's gist is still coming from the palace of the Ooni of Ife. The Ooni of Ife just welcomed his sixth wife, and by the 29th of October 2022, he will be welcoming his seventh wife. One thing that has been noticed in the trend of his marriage is that he's unable to attend most of his marriages. Most of these women who Ooni has gotten married to are not all in Ile-Ife, and so the staff of the Ooni are sent as representative for the wedding. Now, people are asking questions: why is the Ooni getting married to all these women? And the problem is not just getting married to all these women. Why is the marriage running concurrently? Well, this is beyond Ooni of Ife. This is not his doing at all. Initially, it seems like the Ooni of Ife is just out there to get all these women married, as he has had one or two connection and relationship with most of these women he's getting married to. And people are asking questions. At the same time, people are dragging a whole Ooni of Ife, saying so many derogatory things about the most revered Ooni of Ife, calling him names, asking ridiculous questions like, is he going to be living with all these women? So many things have been going on social media. In fact, Ooni of Ife is on the lips of everyone, as a lot of people can make sense of what exactly is going on and why Ooni of Ife is getting married to these women. Well, it is all tradition. It seems Ooni of Ife tried as much as possible to end this tradition by just sticking to one woman, but it seems it's not possible for the Ooni of Ife, as some things are not just easy to change or just easy to rule out. Well, he said himself when he got married to Queen Anako Ogunwusi, that there are some things that are beyond him. He tried as much as possible to eradicate it, but it blew up in his face. Hence, he doesn't have a choice than to go through with this tradition. And that is the reason why Ooni of Ife has been marrying so much lately. And he is said to be marrying 13 wives. So we have to stay tuned and welcome more brides into the palace. Well, these 13 wives he's going to get married to, there is a deadline for it. And this is one of the reasons why the marriages are being rushed. According to a blogger on social media, this blogger revealed that after asking so much questions and wanting to know why the Ooni has been welcoming so many women into the palace, this blogger claims to have received this from a lecturer who is also an Ifa priest, who revealed the reason for Ooni's recent marriage spree, claiming a deadline is involved just as the Ooni is about to take his seventh wife. Earlier, it was reported that Ooni of Ife was planning to marry his seventh wife, Ariduno. The wedding is expected to take place on October 29th. This is coming barely 48 hours after the revered monarch married his sixth wife. He's alleged to have 13 wives before the allotted time is up. The Ooni's palace is yet to verify or deny any of this claim, however. Well, according to this blogger shared on social media Instagram page saying, so let's talk about context. The Ooni of Ife has been dragged, even I dragged, because how? Why you going through marriage ceremony like you have IBS, even being upset at most? Then a friend who always digs in and is solid sent this, and somehow it makes sense. Still crazy at the base, but it's not up to him. I say this because you see, tradition, changing it is not for the faint-hearted. End quote. This was the blogger sharing this on social media, and afterwards sharing a chat that transpired between the said Ifa and lecturer and the said blogger. In the chat it says, I was told by an Ifa priest/professor just yesterday that it's beyond him. Apparently refused this when he ascended the throne. He is to have 13 wives at the least before a certain time, so there is more to come. Makes sense, as the speed of things can't be desired. These titles are steeped in African spirituality. As modern as things have been, there are some things you cannot get away with. It has always happened. We just have mobile phones with camera and social media. This was the conversation that transpired between the blogger and the said person. As mentioned earlier, none of this has been confirmed by anyone in the palace. But this can stand as a fact, as Ooni of Ife himself mentioned it, saying if he had his way, he wouldn't do this. But he had no choice as this blew up in his face. The Ooni of Ife explained that he tried making some changes but he couldn't. Maybe referring to his decision to keep to only one queen and have concubines. The monarch said of the tradition heritage of Ile-Ife. In the monarch's word, he said, "This institution is bigger than me, beyond me. People in this palace are more than 800. They are close to 1,000. There are some people who have been living in this palace for more than 60 years, while some have lived here for more than 80 years. Some people are over 100 years old in this palace. If I had my way, I tried to challenge it, but it blew in my face. But thank God I am still alive. It's an institution that is rich in heritage, culture, and tradition." This was Ooni of Ife sharing this personally, explaining why he has to take so much wives in a short period of time. Ooni of Ife Oba Enitan Adeyeye Ogunwusi on October 26, 2015, beat 21 other candidates for the throne and the most revered position in Ile-Ife and in Yoruba land. On December 17, 2015, he was installed as the 51st Ooni of Ile-Ife Square. Adeyeye is a member of the Oromiyan dynasty's ruling house of Gaisi years before he was born. It was allegedly predicted that he would be born. As a result, he was given the name Enitan, a child of history. Well, speaking of his marital history, Ooni of Ife, when he was a teenager, had a close relationship with Omolara Olatunbosun in Ibadan, where they had their first child, a female child named Adeola Ogunwusi, in May 1994. But they never got married. The second relationship of the Oba was with Bombata Adebukola Bombata, which took place in 2008, 7 years before he was crowned Ooni of Ife. Well, Adebukola Bombata, who was not a fan of publicity, they test attention, and the couple had to split shortly after the prince was crowned king in 2015, and Bombata moved to UK. After this was when the Ooni got married to Zainab Otiti Obano, who is also known as Olori Wuraola, for the second time in March 2016. Was raised in Benin. There was a rumor that she had been the victim of domestic abuse, even though the cause of the divorce was never made public. After this was when the Ooni got married to Queen Naomi Shilekunla, the 25-year-old prophetess who had founded the Akure Ondo state-based Enroute ministry. Well, these two had to go their separate ways for some reason unknown to a lot of people. And the counting started after this for Ooni, saying he has divorced so many other women. And the problem is probably from his end. Well, tradition explains it all now why these women are leaving the palace, as Ooni has to marry at least 13 wives before a stipulated time. Well, we say big congratulations to the Ooni ahead of time. And guys, there you have it. Do not forget to like, subscribe, drop your comments in the comment section below. Thank you. Bye.